Everything live? You checking it all? You're all good?
Hey, we
Green
got
signals on all of them?
We got green levels. I can hear you. You can hear me, and I think we are ready to go, my friend.
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
All right. Look, if you're watching this right now, no kidding. If you're watching this right now, Stan just basically schooled me and made me feel like an idiot. But it's power of learning because I've never really done this at this experience before, and he pretty much troubleshooted me for about half hour. We were supposed to go live about 30 minutes ago.
It should have taken 5 minutes.
Yeah. So many buttons. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, hey, here we are. We are live at a very special and a surprise guest interview here with the man, the myth, the legend, the Duke of Memes, the Earl of the Internet. We're talking to Papastanimus.
What's up, motherfuckers?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I brought some Del Taco chicken soft tacos with me, and I ate half of this already because I was really hungry. But then I was troubleshooting. Dog hair landed on this thing, so I didn't get to eat the rest of the half of it. So I'm gonna eat it now, if that's okay with all you guys. So I'll appreciate that. But yeah, thank you for having me. What are we? This is your first episode?
This is the first episode. We actually are going to do one tomorrow, but
with who?
With my co-host and I talking about like strength sports that's going on down here because they just had a competition. So
dude, we're dunking on that would have been first episode. now I'm here, motherfuckers.
That's right.
All right, now we're doing a banger first episode.
Absolutely. Look at that. You saw the eyes light up on that? That means that he's enjoying it. It's scrumdiddlyumptious, and we can only imagine what he's thinking right now.
Mayonnaise tacos, which is basically what these are.
Jesus Christ.
It's good though.
He said mayonnaise tacos. That's horrible.
That's what they are. Mayonnaise, some chicken and cheese and some lettuce. You got a mayonnaise taco.
Oh my God.
Now we're doing a banger. So what now?
All right. So hey, this is kind of a collaboration between Stan and I. So if you haven't known, obviously Papastanimus' first name is Stan. Would you like me to call you that, sir, or do you have a specific name you want me to call you?
I want you to call me Daddy.
That's not going to happen. Just very weird.
Or Poppy.
Poppy. Okay. I'm not. No. Yeah.
You were excited for a second.
I was excited. I was really excited.
Call me Stan, bro. Call me Stan.
I've had too many experiences where people had to say it to me, and those relationships went very wild very quickly. So we're not going to use that word anymore. But anyway, back to the podcast. So here's what's going on. As you can see in Stan's background, he has what anybody that served in the military, of course, they're in OIF 1, OIF 2, or Enduring Freedom. He has a Humvee backdrop that basically says "Danger, stay back," and it's also written in Arabic, "Danger, stay back." So, basically getting to know Stan, he was in the Marines for a certain period of time. Now, he's never told his story before. It just wasn't a thing that came up, or he just didn't want to basically put it on his show. So as we got talking, as we got to know each other a little bit, he basically has given me the ability to actually broadcast his story and to put it here live and on internet so everyone can go to the channel and then basically listen to it. So, And and that's what it is. And the best thing about that is, like, Stan is pretty much just like me. You know, we served. You know, we loved that we did it. And when it was time to walk away, we walked away. If obviously, I'm pretty sure that's all he maybe has in his house is the same as mine. I have like one little shelf, and that's it. We don't have like a full blown room designated for like this is what I did, or am I wrong on that? Stuff.
Yeah, I don't have like a room or anything.
Right.
I mean, no, nothing against anybody that from the military that does that. You know, like there's people that it's like the proudest thing they've ever done, and they carry that with them forever. To start off my story, I would say I did 4 years in the Marines. I went to Iraq. We did some crazy shit, and then I got out, but that was just part of my story. Like this is what I try to encourage other veterans to think about, and that is make the Marines just one thing you did. There's still so many new things to do. You can one up your military experience. You can. There's harder things. There are things that are harder than joining the Marines.
And I agree with Stan on that, because it's not just basically, it shouldn't just basically be who you are. Like for me, the best compliment I ever get is all my buddies and all my friends. They say, "You're still Sean. You're still the same person that joined the Marines I knew in high school. All you did was take this basically core knowledge that you got, and you just utilize it on top of what you already are, and it never changed you for anything else. Like you didn't come out a robot. You didn't come out just basically brainwashed. You're still who you are, and that's why I believe it should be too. Because I did 13 years. And unfortunately, something happened where I couldn't continue on. And guess what? Got out, figured out what to do, started own business, and here I am with Stan. And the same thing with him. He did 4 years, and he got out, and look what he's doing now.
Eating tacos.
Eating tacos and enjoying life.
Mayonnaise tacos.
Oh, that's next is gonna have what do you have? Toast with sugar on it, and that's gonna be your delicious dessert.
Toast with sugar on it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. No, toast with sugar on it is good as fuck.
It is, man.
Butter, brown sugar, cinnamon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so
or
Stan,
just do plain sugar and the cinnamon. Ooh. Right? Remember that? Mm-hmm. Sugar and the cinnamon toasted with butter. That's good.
When you got that, your parents were like, "I just need to feed this kid," but you're like, "Oh man, this is a great day, best day ever." But yet it was probably just really quick. You had to have it done. Kids got to eat something. But we'll get into a gourmet childhood recipe maybe later on in the show if Stan is encouraged to do that.
I'll give you a recipe during the show for sure.
Fantastic. So Stan, if you want to tell us your journey on what it was, like who you were before you joined the Corps, and then pretty much what made you join, and pretty much your process of what you did for those 4 years. Well, first I got to ask you, did you go to the East Coast or West Coast? Where'd you go to boot camp? That was a big bite, ladies and gentlemen. He's in deep thought.
Well, when I was 18, I was coming up on the end of my senior year, and I had no plans for myself. I looked at some college stuff, and I hate school, man. I hate school. And then I was like, fuck, I'm going to have to go get like a job. And I'm like, fuck, I don't want to work, bro. Like, I just want to be a kid. Like, fuck, dude, like, it's over. It's like the gig is up. I got to go to work and like college and all the shit. And I didn't want to. And then the Marines were recruiting one day in my school. And I'm like, this will piss my dad off. So I had them take me back, and I like did all this stuff or whatever. I was just kind of like, whatever. But then, like, while I was there and, like, hanging out with all these guys, I'm like, this is actually kind of fucking cool, dude. I might actually do this. So, and then I ended up, like, actually, like, signing up. And then I just kind of, I still had time to, like, back out and not, follow through with it or whatever. But the longer I was, like, and I was only in there for, like, 30 days. What's it called when you're not a boot yet?
You're only the delayed entry program.
Yeah, as a poolie for like 30 days because it was 2006. It's like, we're sending lots of people to Iraq. Like, it's a war machine, right? In and out like crazy. So you get in quick. So I got in 30 days. I went to open contract because they said it was a 3-month or 6-month wait for infantry. And I was like, fuck that. I don't want to wait. Let's just go. Once I like made up my mind.
You're only the poolie.
So I went open contract and ended up supply when I got my stuff, but then I got put on recruiting duty after boot camp, and I guess I just kind of skipped boot camp. But I don't know, boot camp's dumb, dude. It's like it's only 3 months. You know what I mean? It's like everyone gets so focused on the boot camp thing, but it's only 3 months. Like it's way, the 4 years after that's way harder, in my opinion.
For me, boot camp was one of the most hilarious things. Just the things you see and the things people say. I mean, it's a comedy show, man. I mean,
I remember. I forgot a lot of my boot camp stories.
Really?
Like I remember a few, but I'm starting to lose my like memories from the Marines too. Like I'm looking on Facebook, and then like this one guy is a Twitch streamer, and he's like, "Hey, remember me? I was Doc Black," and I was like, "What the fuck's Doc Black?" I'm like forgetting people, dude. Right. I don't know. Something's up with my memory, man. But I'm like forgetting shit. So I don't remember all my boot camp stories. I remember some. I remember like the most extreme experiences. And then if I ever talked to anybody, like memories would come back, they would like reignite them. But I don't know. Boot camp is only 3 months, so that's whatever. So we did boot camp. Same thing as everybody. And then I went open contract. Right. Yeah, that's right. I got my MOS, and I was supply. Wait, we get your it's after MIT, right? MCT. Yeah, after MCT, MIT. MCT. Yeah. After MCT, I got I got my orders, but what I did is when I was on RA after boot camp is I talked to, now it's coming back to me. During RA, I talked to the master guns or whoever was running that, and one of the recruiters was artillery, and he's showing me pictures of Iraq of him like doing artillery, and they had guns and shit, and they're like, yeah, you do like artillery and you do infantry shit, and I was like, oh really? Okay. And I don't have to go to ITB because I didn't want to do all the humping, right? Because in MCT it's easier.
Yeah, I think you guys you do what, so, you do 10Ks, like it's all you do. Yeah,
I forgot, but it was less than what your guys' shit was, and it was shorter period too. So I was like, skip all that shit and still get to do the dope job. So I asked to become an 0811, and what he did is he gave me a card with his like information on it, and put a little message on the back saying, "Make my man price here an 0811." And when you're at MCT and then you're like checking in, you check in and they see what job you're gonna be, and then they like organize you or whatever like that. So they changed my MOS from supply to 0811 because of this master guns like asking for it and like hooking me up with that. And I only found out after MCT they tell you where you're going, and I wasn't sure if I was going artillery or supply or what. That's right. After MCT, like when you graduate, they give you your shit.
Right.
And I was being sent to fucking Fort Sill, Oklahoma for artillery training. So that was my beginning experience, right? I do remember one thing I want to talk about with boot camp was in high school and all of school, whenever I had to do any exercise, like if I could just half-ass that shit, I would. Like if there was a mile, I'd run like half of it and cheat and say I ran the mile or something, you know? But I couldn't do that in boot camp. So for the first time, I was being held accountable, and I had to finish those runs. I think the first one is like a mile and a half or something. And they give you a generous amount of time.
Yeah, judicial strength testing.
I was very out of shape, hated exercise, and I finished it. I pushed myself. I thought I was going to die, but I finished it. And then I mentally realized that I could push myself further than I ever thought. And I've carried that with me forever. Like that was a big epiphany moment for me. I was like, holy shit, I could do that. And then I passed everything. I passed everything in boot camp. Wasn't like I was really scared of getting held back. That was my biggest worry. So I didn't want to get held back.
That's the worst period.
Right. Yeah. So that was like one of the biggest things for me from boot camp, and I carry that with me today. So like I do boxing now, not to go too far ahead of time, but like I'm very out of shape. I go into the gym, and then everyone, like, I'm dying doing these exercises, but everyone told me afterwards, like, dude, we're surprised you finished it. Like nobody finishes it. Like, that looks like you. That nobody finishes it. So now I got my wife into it, and she's finishing it, which is cool. So I think she just had her push herself as far as you can moment. But that was important. Got to MCT, did all that stuff. That was actually fun. I actually really liked MCT. That was probably like the most fun I've had in the Marine Corps, was that. Even though it was still kind of boot campy, and I was eager to be free of that, it was a lot of fun because you got to do all this crazy training and stuff like that in a pretty jam-packed period, show the machine guns. And I really liked remember when you do the compass thing? You have to like go around all the fucking hills and shit and navigate.
Find the dog tags.
It's a treasure hunt, bro. That is sick.
It's exactly. Bro. It's a scavenger hunt. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. It's a treasure hunt, but big boy version, man. Right. That was awesome. I like doing. There was the thing where they have like QRF. Like there's people playing the insurgents, and then you play like holding the base, and everyone takes turns sleeping and shit.
The 3-day war, man. That's what it is. The 3-day war at the very end. Yeah.
That thing. That was fun. I loved that. That shit was great. Got to the fleet, when I got to the fleet, there was a bunch of us from the class. They got all the 0811s together, and there was a unit, Bravo battery, that was going to be deploying, but I don't know what the circumstances were, but they were short on people. And all these boots showed up, their 0811s, to fill all those empty spots so that unit can deploy. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to deploy. And it was for the 13th MEU. And they have been doing like months of workups. So they asked, hey, who wants to go to Iraq in 1 month? And I was like, I want to go, dude. That's why I'm here. Because I was like all pumped up for this shit.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And in boot camp and MCT, remember they play all those fucking videos of like, you know, people doing the initial invasion of Fallujah and shit, you know, and playing metal music and stuff. Remember those?
Nope. Because I actually was part of that. I joined in 2001, October 8th. So,
yeah, okay.
No, I don't remember.
So we watched your videos that your guys shot during the invasion.
Gotcha.
Right?
Gotcha.
And like that's what they'd show in boot camp and shit. And it's all over the internet, right? They just play it from, you know, they have a projector connected to the internet and they're like, okay, bam, and you're just hearing metal music and shit. And all
they let the bodies hit the floor. There's fucking
dude.
bombs dropping.
Yeah, that
shit.
song.
Yeah.
Ironically, they'd play Tool, you know?
Dude.
Yeah.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the thing was, like, Stan and I are laughing because, you know, it is bringing back memories, and it's funny because just at the time frame, it's like there's certain bands and certain things out there that like we appreciate as service members, where it's like, oh yeah, that was a big thing, and oh, that one song, we gotta use that song for everything. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was that one song. It's like beating drums to the
war drums.
Rhythm.
Yeah,
war drums, right?
Yeah,
and it was like an anti-war song, but they're pairing it with all this like crazy fucking combat footage, right, and amping up. We're like, fuck the lyrics, bro. War drums. Yeah, that's right. Let's go. We're ready to go. I was really hyped. So 11 of us volunteered, and we went into this unit, and I know all those same guys to this day. It's actually a crazy turn of fate because we all volunteered that day. We were in the same unit, and we're in the Marines for 4 years together. You know, so that was pretty cool. And we were all the boots. We were the newest guys, and they were deploying in 1 month. So it's kind of weird because the unit had been doing all these workups, like doing all this training and shit, and we didn't do any of it. So we're getting sent to Iraq right out of MCT, and that's what I did. Or actually, it was a MEU. So we went on the 13th MEU, and it took like a month and a half to get, or 2 months or something. I forgot. But it took us a little bit to sail to Kuwait, and then we went into Iraq. Did like... I can't remember, like 6 months or something, maybe.
It's
like
usually
that.
about 6 to 9 months is kind of like the average of what the.
Well, for a MEU, it's shorter.
Yes, because then you guys got sail back.
Mm-hmm. You had to sail there and back.
Yeah.
But we got extended while we were there. I do remember that. Yeah. So we got there. It was supposed to be 3 months, and then we got extended, and it being like 6 months or something.
But
I mean, that's the best. That's the best way to go to Iraq, bro. Right there. Do a fucking joyride there. Right, you go to all these countries, you get to Iraq, or you go to Kuwait on a fucking hovercraft off the back of the. You know, I was on the Bonhammer Shard. You know that ship?
I don't know
the one that burned down.
Yeah.
Remember the one?
The one just recently got set on fire. Yeah,
that was the one I was on.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad.
So, yeah, well, you know, I don't know what happened with it, but whatever.
Yeah,
billions of dollars. Fuck it. So. Yeah, you like get on the hovercrafts and shit. But it was crazy. So I was just like kind of speed running through the Marines, and I got to I was 19 and I'm deploying to Iraq. And you know, joined at 18, turned 19 in artillery school, which I was there for a good amount of time because it took a while for me to get picked up in a class, and that was stressful because that was like artillery is actually kind of complicated. Which is funny because like they let the stupid people, you know, go in and do it, but it's actually a complicated job, and if you fuck up, like people get hurt. You know,
someone's getting deleted from existence.
You can't miss with artillery.
No.
Yeah. So there's a lot to it. It's kind of a complicated thing, and it's all manual. When I joined, we were transitioning between the M1908 howitzer and the M777 howitzer. So the M1908 was towed from the rear, and so in placing it is kind of weird because you're towing it and you have to like, you know, it just takes longer to emplace versus being towed from the front, which is the new M777, and has a loading system as well, and it had all this other stuff like GPS and shit they're putting on these things. But The M1, yeah. So the M1908, it was like the same thing we've been using since like like Vietnam or even earlier, like Korean War. M1908, like it's a 155 millimeter howitzer, and this, you know, they shoot 14 miles with rocket assist. I remember that.
Yeah.
But M triple. So we had to learn both of these systems. And then when I went to Iraq, we took the M777s, left the 908s behind. And so my unit was the first unit to take the M777 howitzer to battle, which is kind of cool.
It was a big deal back then. I remember hearing about that.
Yeah. Yeah, but now I hear that my MOS is getting phased out. So we're not doing artillery anymore.
Yeah, the Marine Corps is doing a whole revamp of what's going on. I mean, tanks are gone, which is something I was like, wow, that's crazy. Yeah.
I heard about that just recently. Yeah. I was like, damn, but they're tightening their belts or something. I don't know.
They're doing something. Well, I know the one comment on
modernizing.
They can say modernizing, but they're trying to make like a special, like everybody's recon, everybody needs silencers. It's like, okay, like for me, the Marine Corps, like people say,
oh yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? We all need silencers. What the fuck, bro? You say no to that? Give us all fucking silencers. What the hell?
A standard ammo man does not need a silencer.
Yes, he does.
No, because he does. He's giving me ammo, and he'll give me the ammo that's in his M16 because he doesn't get any fun. You suck. You're an ammo man. Give me your ammo.
When I was in Iraq, they gave us the equipment we had was M16A4, and then we had PEC 2s.
Yep.
Which we like barely even used, but it was cool. I was like, I didn't even know what that fucking was until I got it on my.
Did you guys even BZO them right, or was it just down there for looks?
I mean. When these things got zeroed out, bro, like they didn't stay that way.
Right.
Okay. Like,
right.
Shit, and there's no like the only chance you get to fix that is to start using it, which you know. so we have PEC 2s on there. We got MVGs. I actually use the fuck out of the MVGs because we did a lot of night like patrolling. I mostly did patrolling.
Yeah. That's
basically what I did in Iraq. Looking out for IEDs, and sometimes it'd give us like basic missions like. You're gonna like, and I was a gunner most of the time, you know, like the majority of the time because I was new, so they put all the new guys as the gunners,
of course.
And if you've been before, you get to get out of the truck and go like, you know, into the buildings and shit. Okay, so I just stayed in as a gunner the whole time as a PFC. But sometimes we'd go and like go to a village. You're like, okay, you're gonna go here and you're gonna go like bring these people back, and then so I'm like a gunner and I'm looking down in the back of the 7-ton. And there's a fucking dude that's like blindfolded back there. I'm like, Jesus, what the fuck are we even doing? You know, I don't know shit. You know, I don't know I don't know who he is. I don't know why we want him or anything. You know, I'm just there. Just like, we also worked with some recon guys a little bit. So we were like in the same fob with these guys. But what we did is we just drove them around. So we'd like drive them somewhere and drop them off. Like all the guys would just get out, and then like a week later we'd pick them up somewhere else. You know, they're just like doing. I don't know what they did. You know, but I remember I was like, oh shit, I remember these guys. We dropped them off. We're picking them up now. Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
because we left of 06 of March. Do you remember what fob or what province you were at or what city you were by?
I was in Cop Golden, which is in Al Anbar province, if I'm saying if I'm remembering correctly.
It's
north of Fallujah.
Right.
Yeah. So I was in like a lot of like farm area. It was just just tons of desert, and any like structures and stuff, they're all made out of mud or just, you know, really cheap shit.
So with you guys going in there and doing like your patrols and whatnot, and you obviously being as green as your microphone right there, I mean, you just like, hey, I'm staying, grab your shit, we're going. What was that experience like when you were like boots on ground and there was a moment where you're like, wait a minute, I'm in the shit, like we're on the front lines right now. So like, let
me explain to you. And I learned a lot while I was there. Like I figured everything out hands on. Right, we had to, but we were like, I have a 50 cal in front of me, and I don't know how to do headspace and timing. And like I have like they showed me one time. Okay, so I don't know what the fuck to do, and then they want me to put. I forgot even what condition it would need to be in. But you know, before you go out, you got to put it in whatever condition. I didn't know how to do that, and I'm like, and for this particular thing we were doing that day, the CO was with us. He was the convoy commander, and I was like, "Sir, like, I'm not ready. I don't even know what the fuck's going on." I was kind of scared to say anything, you know, because like everyone's gonna make fun of you because you don't know what you're doing. But I'm 19, I'm overthinking it and stuff, but I needed, like, I made sure, I was like, so the CO came up there and fucking showed me how to do it before we left. Like, that's how, like, unprepared we were. They were all prepared, and most of the unit has already been on at least one deployment. Like, my Sergeant Silva, that was like his 4th or 5th deployment. And he was like 28 at the time. So he's just like went a bunch of times, and it was all artillery. He just did it each time. So he went like during your time, and he was still going.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell, I mean, most of the guys that I came in with, the guys that stayed infantry, be honest with you, they probably have like maybe 6 or 9 deployments, and you're like, that's crazy. Now the money at the time was fantastic for him. If you were single, it was great. You had a family. Yeah. Oh, dude. I remember when we went to Afghanistan in 2004, and I came back, I think it was like 21 grand just sitting right there in my account as like an E3. Like, 20 years old, you're like, whoa, rock star lifestyle, here we go. I mean, it's ridiculous, but.
Yeah, I spent all of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't buy a car. I spent most of it on alcohol.
That's a 7-day, or it's out in town?
Oh, just in the barracks.
Exactly.
Out in town, let's throw barracks parties, bro.
Dog.
Yeah. We were Bravo battery, Bravo 111, and everyone. Well, I don't know if everyone called us this. We all called ourselves this, beer battery. That's what we were.
Makes sense. Well, let's better ours. Ours was a cocaine kilo. So yeah. We'll take beer battery.
Honestly, I will tell you this. I personally never used any type of drugs or anything until after I got out of the Marines. Even like before I ever joined, I never did anything. I was too scared. My dad freaked me out. Like, I did not want to piss my dad off. Right. So I just never did. Yeah, he instilled fear into me on that. And also, I just like respected him enough to like, he told me don't do that shit, and so I just didn't. But
no, absolutely.
If my unit like got like piss tested, really, like I guarantee, like it would be like 80% of them, dude. Like, what I and you only find out like way later, right? I was like, Jesus, all of you guys,
right? We literally had
I just didn't get it. Like, risk everything, Now, like my roommate Sean Maloney, I'm throwing his name out there, fucking was doing all kinds of shit, and I never said a goddamn thing, and I knew what he's doing, but he's my friend. I'm not gonna fucking say shit,
You're not gonna narc, man. You're not gonna narc.
I always thought it was fucking like just not worth it, bro. That when I got out, I was like, I'm gonna go smoke weed. I'm gonna see what the big deal is, and then after that, I'm like, everyone's risking it for that, bro. Like, that's fun, but really, bro, you can't wait. Like, come on, man. It's just, nah.
We had a similar idea right there in nothing. But then when you got, it's like, okay, you're not going to risk your career. You're not going to risk a felon. You're not going to do anything like that. It's like, all right, so let's just see, because it's only going to hurt me. And it's just like, you guys, you look back and you're like, you guys are idiots. Like, you guys are really idiots. I mean, yeah, it's fun, but it's not worth like going to Leavenworth about, or getting a dishonorable discharge where you have that for the rest of your life.
Hey, I mean, no judgment. I just think that, like, but, yeah, that's like, I'm a risk taker, but not with like that type of risk. I'll take like a calculated business risk or something, but I'm not going to risk my everything personally. But I mean, there's a lot of people that risk their everything. Anybody doing like free, no rope, like rock climbing, and they're just really good at it. It's a risk. So, like, again, personally, no judgment, but
so basically, those that are watching right now, just to give the guys a heads up. So Stan was a cannon cocker; he was artillery, and I was 0331. I was a heavy weapons machine gunner. So so when he's telling me that, like, they were just kind of thrown into the fire, like, it's like you think back, you're like, that's insane, because like you said, headspacing, timing. It's like, that's a very integral thing. If that thing ain't specifically right, guess what?
It's not going to work.
That ain't going to work.
At least I knew that.
Right.
I knew that. I did not want to have a fucking gun in front of me that it was not going to work, right? So I was like, it was so, like, embarrassing, dude. But I didn't know, bro.
But
it's like, yeah.
It's not embarrassing, because what you did
was for me at the time when I was 19,
Right, and we'll get the mentality in a second of how just kind of stupid we are sometimes. But no, he had a question. Yeah. Hey, this is life or death. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, it's the biggest dog out there. It's a CO. Hey, he told you what to do. Now you're ready to go. But kind of like you said earlier, like, well, I didn't want to get made fun of. It's like, and that's kind of like the mentality you think of. If I screw this up, like, I'd rather not get made fun of than just kind of fake the funk where it's like, hey, jackass, get this thing going. We're gonna bust your balls regardless. I know there's headspace and time, or there's something else we'll figure out to do because we're bored. So just take your licking and be like, hey man, I don't know what I'm doing.
Nothing happened. I didn't get in trouble and get made fun of or anything. It was fine. Yeah.
No.
I was just thinking that because it's a culture, and you're like in like this weird family of everyone who like not everyone likes each other, But and you're new, and everyone picks on the new guys, whether they like each other or not. They always pick on the new guys.
We used to have a thing called Hell Day. It's just like you just pick some random guy. Like, no matter what he does, he can't do anything right. And it just, at the end of the day, the guy's like, oh, I got. And usually you take him out, you get him drunk, and say, hey man, you passed the test. You didn't bitch. You didn't complain. You maybe cried a little bit, but it's just you're part. It's like you're initially you're part of the family. You put up with us being assholes. Now you're into it. And like what Stan said, I mean, you serve with we had 121 guys in our company, and you don't all get along. But when the push comes to shove and it's time to do something, you're all there for each other because the goal is to come home. That's it. That's all it is. So,
well, I was also like kind of an outsider too because I was so new. So I didn't do all the workups and stuff. So there was other people. It was their first deployment too, but they were like tight with all the corporals and shit, right, and sergeants and stuff. Like they were just like friends, and then we're like just new Marines. We're just being treated like hardcore new Marines. It was really. It was that part kind of sucked, because I didn't want to be an outsider. I didn't want to be a part of it, but I wasn't a part of it really. But I was a part of it after we came back. That's when I was a part of it. After we came back, so then I had my first deployment, and then there was a different, I earned it at that point, but during the deployment, it fucking sucked, I remember there was this other Lance Corporal. He's like a terminal Lance guy. What was his name? Murphy? Murph something like that. Everybody loved this guy. He was so fucking funny. He's like pure swag kind of guy. There's always that guy. And we get into Cop Golden, and we're like, they have these like dirty fucking tent things, and like we have cots in there. We could fit probably like, I don't know, 15, 20 guys in one, these little tent things with cots, and they had AC. So they had these little AC units plugged into them. Yeah.
Sounds fantastic. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it was nice because there was a generator that someone set up, right? So all the huts had like little plugs and shit, so you could charge shit. And they had these little like shitty ACs, and but they don't do shit like unless you're right in front of it. And I'm like, oh shit, I found this like cot, and I got the cot right in front of the AC, and then I think his name was Murphy. Comes over and he grabs my shit and throws it on another cot, and he lays down and he's like, and he looks at me, he's like, are you gonna fucking make me move? And I'm just like, nah dude, I'm not making you move, bro. Because because he could fight, dude. There's no way I would win. No fucking way. He just demolished me. So I just got like big dicked, and I lost my cot, and he's a Lance Corporal, right? And I'm a PFC. I'm like, fucking because it's kind of the same, it's close enough.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Right. Yeah. No.
Yeah. No.
Especially
so there's no way I was winning that.
Especially you said career Lance. It's like, no, that dude thinks he's up here. It's like,
yeah, that was his second deployment, so he was like cool with all the. He just didn't rank up. He just like because he gets a little trouble and stuff, but not like he's a bad Marine kind of trouble, in my opinion.
No, and you know what? And that's where I think that as we were talking before we started this, is that we both agree on this. Look, man, you served your country, you did it. I don't care if you got out, an E1 or if you got out, a general. It doesn't matter. Like, you served your time, you did it, you got the respect, you got honorable, and that's all that matters, man. Like what killed me for my career, and I couldn't stand it, is like when I saw somebody where you'd see like this guy who'd be like meritorious corporal or whatever it is, he'd get great, and as soon as he says, I don't want to re-enlist back then, it was like, oh, that guy's a piece of garbage. It's like, you just praise this guy for doing it. Like, not everybody has to re-enlist. You don't have to. You can. And if you do, wish you the best luck. Like I did, because I loved it. Every day, I told people, I never had a bad day in the Marine Corps. That's why I stayed in for so long. But I know half the guys I served with.
My command was retarded, dude. I hated them. So, like, they were cool when I first got there, and then it changed. We lost our, like, gunny and our first sergeant. And those guys were dope. They had been on the deployment before. And if they got to be with them again and deploy, like, it would have been a completely different experience. But we had these just all stud. That was his fucking PlayStation name. What's it? Gunnery Sergeant Alston was his name, and his PlayStation name was Allstud. And then behind his back, we always made fun of him, call him Allstud, because he's a fucking idiot. He was the biggest fucking idiot ever, dude. I'll say that till the day I die. And then we had First Sergeant Bernard Jackson. I think he's like top rank now. Yeah, he's still in, but fucking idiot, fucking dumbass, dude. It's like he was so stupid he could barely fucking talk.
What did they do that kind of? What did they do that kind of pissed you guys off? Just basically, just really didn't have any grasp of what was going on, or were they just like micromanage you to the day you die?
Gunnery Sergeant Alston makes more sense because I think he was artillery, so he was running things right. He was just fucking stupid and like would play like we had some deaths when we were in Iraq, and one of them actually was in Kuwait, and it was
really
yeah, it was one of the lances from the previous deployment, and he was the lance that was like taking care of all the boots, so it was actually like everybody loved this guy. His name was Lance Corporal Villarreal, and Gunnery Sergeant Alston was making us fucking load and unload these howitzers on the back of these janky fucking Iraqi or whatever Kuwaiti semis, right? And these things are like if I remember correct, I swear the 777 was half the weight of the M198. I don't remember everything anymore, but it's like 7,000 something pounds, I think. Right. I can't remember the weight, but it's thousands of fucking pounds. And we were putting him on. He was playing fuck games with us, and it's a big job to load these things, right? And then there was an accident, and like I broke a fucking rib, and then the front of these artillery pieces are like a big it's a big chunk of fucking metal. It's like a big weapon bore, but giant,
solid iron, right? or armor.
Yeah. So, and it's a big long like
what's it, a cleaver?
Like tube, it's a gun. Yeah, it's a big long gun tube, and then there's a big ass behind it, and then with this thing, it just went, and he was right on the end of it because he was like in the front, like taking charge, taking initiative, and he's like, "Look, come on, guys, let's get these things up," because he was just trying to get the job done so we could be fucking done, right. And then something happened, I think something with the ramp or whatever, and the gun like fell, and then it shot up, and then I was like on the tube, and I was like up in there on this thing, and then it went down. And when it went down, his legs swung underneath it, and it just smashed his whole like pelvis area. And then he didn't last very long, but I thought I was gonna die because I was like out, like I smacked so hard on my ribs, and air wasn't going in my body. Like I was out of air, and then I could not get air in, and I started to like black out. And I was like, "Fuck, dude! Like, what's going on here?" But then I started to get the lungs started to, I don't know what happened there, but it like compressed so hard that I could not bring air in. Like something was up with that, or I don't know. Maybe I was like something in my brain, and I just couldn't breathe. Like psychologically, I have no idea, but I couldn't breathe. And then there was 3 or 4 of us that got hurt. I think it was 4. I think it was Woods, Shipley, like the lungs, me, and then Via. And then that was like the like they told me that Via passed away. They're checking on all of us and stuff, and then we went and like saw him, and then my sergeant was there, Sergeant Silva. He came with us, and then so Sergeant Silva took me to go see Via, and I was like, holy shit, that's Via. And it was just kind of like crazy. And this was before we went to Iraq. It was like we're getting everything prepared to go. So Gunnery Sergeant Alston is like who I blame for that, because he wanted to do fucking fuck games with heavy equipment. That's why I say these guys are retarded. Like he understands artillery and stuff, but he makes dumbass decisions like that. He doesn't think that through. It's not smart. That's not a good idea to play fuck games in the sand and make people like do boot camp shit or something. Push ups, sit ups, crunches, or push ups, sit ups, jump jacks. Do that shit or something. Tell us to go clean something, but not that shit.
No, that's the worst, because you said it was in Kuwait, so you're not even in the country yet, and that's
not before we went. So that was the beginning right there. That was the beginning of the tour. So we went in with that as our morale because of him. And then he also came out and made us write letters to our family that like as if we weren't going to make it back or something. It was while we were on ship. Yeah, like there was a bunch of things that is starting to come back to me. Okay, and then he lost his NVGs He lost his NVGs, and then he blamed it on us.
Right.
And then this was like right when we got the Cobb Golden. I remember this. I have pictures of this. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Everyone had to open up all their gear and see, like they were looking for the NVGs. Yeah. So
it's funny
and that's what he got in trouble for. He didn't get in trouble for anything else that was stupid, all this stuff. He got in trouble for the NVGs because that's equipment.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
No,
so that's trackable. That's numbers on paper. That's what gets them. Numbers on paper. It's like Al Capone getting in trouble for like IRS.
Right.
Right.
When he's
the same fucking shit.
Most notorious gangster, you go down. Oh, you get tax fraud. It's like wait, this dude killed like thousands.
Our CO I liked our CO that we went to Iraq with. He was fucking dope. I liked him. He was the guy that did the headspace and timing and shit. Right. That guy, fucking awesome. I remember the first day I met him. He was like, it was right when I was checking in, and then he had us all line up, and he was asking everyone what their last 4 of their social was. And I told him mine, and he's like, "Oh, you're from here, and you're born this date or something." Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when we do like workups and shit, he's always talking about fucking space. So you come over and he'd be like, "See that? That's fucking Beetlejuice, right?" Like, yeah, dude, he was great. And then someone got him a one of those like suction cup dildos, a big green one. And they gave it to him, and he would stick it on the front of his Humvee as the lead vehicle. That's weird. Take us into training and shit. That's so weird, he was cool as fuck. I liked him. He was cool. It was the guys underneath him, and it's not his choice. You know, he doesn't get to pick who the guys are. They were just idiots and made us go through a bunch of shit. Like I guarantee you, anyone in my unit, if you asked about all stud and First Sergeant Jackson, dude, nobody's gonna have anything good to say about those guys. And that says a lot because like if you're in that position. And then everyone's bragging about you. See, it's different. It says, you know, so if you want to know who someone is, like ask the people that are under them. They'll tell you. Right. So those guys they made my Marine Corps experience fucking bullshit, dude. That was my fleet experience was with those fucking idiots. I hated it.
Is that what made you get out? Because you're like, I've done my time.
Yeah, fuck those guys. I was like, fuck this. Like, there's no way I'm staying in and dealing with this kind of shit. Like, you don't know who you're going to get. You don't know who's going to be in charge and if they're like cool or not, you know, or not cool, but just like, you know, right for the job. It's you know, that's who you want to be in charge. Someone you want to please and do the right thing to please them instead of like, fuck this guy, dude. I'm giving him bare minimum, you know, I wouldn't save him kind of thing. Shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what you want. So that was like, you know, not everyone has my experience. Like you said, you never had a bad day in the Marine Corps, you know, it's like, yeah, like mine was completely different. It depends on your command.
100% depends on the command. And that's the thing with me. And we just had a reunion the first time since 2006. We just had it last year in West Virginia. And, you know, when you throw reunions together, you throw it out there. Like, here's a warning order. Here's what it's going to be. We had 70 guys show up to this. I mean, people are like, how'd you get that many? We're like, we're just that tight, I guess. But because we were a young battalion, even the battalion commander, that was like his first time having a battalion commander, so we were all learning together. So we did 1 deployment, then 2 deployment, and it was kind of like what you said, we were just tight.
Yeah.
But as soon as they left, that's when I got infantry and went to crash and rescue, because I was like, I see where this is going. Yeah. I don't want any part of this command. And no offense, but it's like, it's not the same
How can
guys.
it last, though? Thinking about it, you know?
Right.
Like, if you can get it to last a good amount of time, you're lucky. Because, like, you have the dope command, and then when the commands change, everything that everyone's used to changes.
Different leadership, different style. Like,
yeah,
it's
you know,
try to explain to people that are watching this or people that are going to see this in the future. It's like you get set in one way. Not saying set in one way is like, you know, you got to change your watch, because you got to be malleable. That's what the Marine Corps is that you got to learn to adjust and adapt to whatever situation is. But it's a fact that when something's working and it's working very well, add to it. Don't take it away and try and reinvent the wheel. That's where it's like, this is stupid. Because you know damn well that we just have this. We have all the experience. You get a brand new green command in there, and they think they know what to do because they read in a book or something like that. It's like, that's great. This is how we actually survived, and how literally 85% of us came home. 2 deployments.
Yeah, having, you know, now after I got out, you know, I got into business and stuff, and I've employed a lot of people, and I take a lot of the stuff that I learned from the Marines, I kind of throw it out the window when it comes to business, because you have to treat people a little bit differently. And if you think about it, like, so a Marine is going to want to go in and like put his stamp on something, right? Like I remember, like even at the highest level, you're changing like first sergeants or sergeant majors at the battalion level or something, right? Like I remember one guy just had like all these rocks and stuff put around this one building where they like these are like little trailer buildings they would set up and work in. It's like some things like that. They're pretty cheap and portable. You can move them around. And anyways, like so he had all these like rocks,
like Cox box.
They had all this grass. Yeah, he had all this grass like pulled up and had all these rocks put down, and like so all the grass got pulled up, and then they put plastic down and then put all the rocks on top because he wanted like a rock thing around the building. You know what I'm talking about? Like in landscaping.
No, I know. Down? Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
So and then when he left, the new guy came in. And he's like, I don't want rocks. I want fucking grass.
Right.
Everyone has to put their fucking stamp on something. Right. They got to change something so it has their signature on it, and that just makes people fucking not like you, dude. Like just leave it alone. Like why are we sitting here fucking with grass? Let's just go sit in the barracks right now. You don't got anything for us to do. Why are we swapping this around again? Shit like that.
For anybody that's watching this,
so if you come into a unit and you're in charge, what you should do is like what you suggested and take a look at like what they have set up and then try and work with that instead of injecting all this new bullshit that startles everything. Try and like integrate with them instead. That makes so much more sense to me. If you're moving up your Marine Corps career, you want to put your stamp on something, put your stamp on something because everyone holds you to a really high regard as like the best guy that they've ever had be in charge of them. If I was still in the Marines and I have my current mentality, I would be trying to put my mark on the minds of everyone I'm in charge of. That's where I would put my stamp, right there. And then when everyone's all out, right, I could be everyone's friend, right? And I'm always still the fucking guy, right? I'm still the guy, but now we homies. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%.
That's a great position. Being in civilian world and you're still the guy that was like the CO or the first sergeant or whatever, right? You're the guy, and now because you couldn't do it before, but now you can like drink with that guy and just like bullshit because everyone's civilians, but everyone still knows that you're the fucking guy.
Right.
That would be cool.
No, and that's exactly what it is. Like here's a secret to being successful. Like, not put your stamp on everything, not like do all this crazy stuff. Take care of the people that are under you and make sure they're successful. If they're successful, you're going to be successful. And don't reinvent the wheel. Hey, if you checked into a unit and they, like you said, they deployed like 2 or 3 times, what's worked for you guys? This is what worked. Keep doing it. And then watch like 2 things and be like, okay, instead of doing that, just tweak this a little bit. And then just leave it alone. Because the Marine Corps and the military, the machine's going to keep going. The cogs are going to keep spinning. You don't got to keep adding more gears to the mechanism. It's going to chew everybody up and spit you out. And when you're going to go your separate way, it's still going to keep functioning. It's just the way it is. It's
still there. I've been out for years. It's still there. No matter what I say about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you still keep in contact, you said earlier, with some of those guys? Like, are you still pretty tight? Like, do you have them like on a group chat? Do you have them like, just, hey man, what's going on? Like kind of like we have like a not safe for work thing, or we'll send stuff. And there's certain things I'll look at. I'm like, I'm not opening this in public. Like I'll wait till I get home to open this from. I know who that's from. It's like,
yeah. We have some Facebook groups. We had a Facebook group that got like too big because it was all these different eras of Bravo 111.
Right.
So I didn't really like that one because I don't know all these fucking old farts in there, dude. I don't know all these guys from back when, So, but we have like a Discord. I'm not trying to get too dark or anything, but like, we had some people. We had someone take his own life and like the person you'd least expect, your typical story of that, and some of the guys like started getting everyone back together, and we created like a Discord group. It's not that active, but it's it's something. So we have that, and like the unit's really tight. It's really tight. Like we went through some stuff, and basically the issue was that we had a kind of a crappy command, and there's all these different eras in the unit. So our unit is kind of segregated. Like and also in an artillery unit, it's already kind of segregated because there's guns platoon and then there's headquarters. Right. So there's all like the Humvee dudes, or there's motor T. There's all your comms guys, ammo guys. You have corpsmen. What else we have? We have chow dudes. like everything you would need for a fully functioning like unit that's works on its own. We have everything. So we have a headquarters and the guns platoon. But when we went to Iraq, we only had one gun up out of 6.
Jesus, that's
so we had like bare bones of like we had one gun up. So if we needed to like call for fire, we could. And so we were mostly just calling for. We used it for ourselves. We would do all of our missions around, our area, and we could call for fire. And then for like the rest of the unit was just doing patrols and stuff, or whatever they had us doing. And that's where like it doesn't matter if you're ammo, it doesn't matter if you're guns platoon or whatever. Like everyone's just doing the same thing. So if you like signed up for like, oh yeah, we had like supply guys. So let's say I ended up supply, but I ended up in artillery unit. I'm going to be doing the same shit all the artillery guys are doing, with the exception of actually shooting the gun. Like they'll let you come over there and like pull the string. You could do shit like that, but you're not going to be doing anything fucking crazy because it's they don't want people fucking it up. But the same thing with headquarters. They don't want no guns guys come over there doing their shit.
Right. You screw up somebody's pay, they're going to be. That's a bad.
So that was the only difference.
Yeah.
But when it comes to all the training and everything, we did everything together. So it was like separated, but not. And there's all these posses that kind of happened. So the way we are is like we have a bunch of different groups of people, right? And then the groups are kind of like connected by different people. That's how we're doing it. It's not like one big unified thing that we've got going on.
Right, you got like branches off of basically here's so and so knows this person knows this person, this was part of this, and that's what it is. And I'm telling you right now, you're doing the right thing by keeping in contact because like I said earlier, that's what we did with this first time since 2006 we see each other. We had those guys show up, but we didn't realize of how many guys kind of needed that closure because it was like they just haven't seen each other, things were happening, and kind of like what you said, not to get dark or anything like that. But you just don't even realize until something happens to somebody and you're like, that guy? Really? That guy? That's what happened to him? But we made the group. We've still got everybody together. And that's really like, hey, man, we're a phone call away. Put us on here if you need help. We'll reach out to you. And that's kind of what we do now. And
we have that with ours. Sorry to cut you off. We have that with ours. But like even with people who don't like each other, they'll be like, just call me, bro. Like it's still a respect thing. Even if we like hate each other's fucking guts, we still went to Iraq with each other. And like all that shit that happened. And we're connected in that way.
That's the bottom line, man. You came back with moon dust. I came back with moon dust. It's a connection for life. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah.
Fucking
moon dust, dude. We were first stepping into that shit. What the fuck?
No,
and
dude.
Then someone's like, it's moon dust. I'm like, moon dust. Right?
Dude, but
I pull my foot out and I'm like, where's my boot, bro? Like
the best is when someone would have their like rifle or whatever their weapon was like leaning at something and like it would just fall. It's just eaten by the earth. It's gone. You're like, where did that go? Like it just got enveloped by whatever's on there. Yeah, it was a good time. And look, people that are watching, obviously Stan, he was in 06, and I was in 2001. But guess what? We have a lot of similar stories because of what was going on. And that's what makes it great. And that's actually, when Stan, I see you got my Turbo Man back there where
there's your Turbo Man right there. Let me go grab
it. Yeah, I got that for him, and he's like, hey, he's a veteran. It's a shout out, and that's kind of like where you connect, man. Because anytime like veterans get together and just boost each other up, Stan's absolutely extremely successful on this, and he allowed me to have the benefit of like getting his story told out there, and basically helped me out with my start in the podcast career. So it's just one of those things where it's like success breeds success. There it is, man. The greatest.
Yeah, I made a video. Open this up.
Yeah,
check it out.
The greatest gift of
go to my channel. Go to my channel.
Yeah.
Go to my channel and subscribe, and you can see the Turbo Man video.
It's the most wanted gift of 1996. I'm telling you.
Sub to Papastanimus.
Yeah, so this is how kind of Stan and I first got together. Real quick, I had a stroke back in January, and I was in the hospital in the ICU, and obviously you have your phone there because it's 2020, 2022. You can have that, and just happened somehow, came along his stuff, and his stuff was making me laugh so much. I was like, this guy is hilarious. Then I found he was a Marine. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a shot and just reach out to this guy and just see what he's about. And man, it's been a blast. It's been a ride, man. You have some of the funniest shit out there, and like, there's no filter. Like, you see something out there, it's great. And the funny thing is now, I like that you are now incorporating your wife into it too. And it's some of the challenges you guys do where you're sitting right next to each other. Dude, it's funny. So if you guys are watching this, please go support his channel, man. I mean, it's just some funny shit.
Yeah, watch one and we'll get you hooked. Right?
Seriously,
they're good videos.
Seriously, that's what I got. That's what I got out of it. All right, so Stan, we've been chatting for a very long time, and you know it's been absolutely blast. But you know, basically, is there anything you want to say? You know, closing out with like anything else in your story that you want to tell people? Like once you got out of the Marine Corps, like what was your journey pretty much into where you are now?
Well, when I was in, like, towards the end, I just wanted to get out because I was just sick of, like, dumbass people in charge, right? So, like, that's just my story in the Marines is I just had all the, like, really bad leadership, like, the entire time I was in. And so I just wanted to get out and get into business because I just felt like I was being held back, you know? Not held back. I was just on pause. I'm like, dude, I can go do some shit right now. You know, I've done this. I did Iraq. I did all this stuff. Like, I'm ready to move on to the next thing. There's no way I'm staying in here. With that said, I would do it all over again. Right. So I'm not like taking that. You know, I would do it all over again. Like that was a big part of developing me as a person and an adult and stuff. Like the Marines, like bro, like that's crazy. I can't imagine where I would be if I didn't join the Marines. I don't think I would be as successful as I am just because of the confidence I got. I feel like I could do so many things. You, especially when you come back from a deployment, you have like invincibility syndrome or whatever it is. I forget what they call it, but they warn you about it because they don't want you to do stupid shit, get yourself killed. Right. You know, like speeding and shit like that.
Well, you got the adrenaline high, and you're looking to find the adrenaline high again, and that's where you see a lot of guys have accidents because you're looking for that rush. I mean, you really are. There is no rush like it.
Yeah. So, you know, like that's a double-edged sword, but like that, it gave me a lot of confidence in myself. You know, from that first moment when I had the epiphany, I'm like, I could push my body. I could do this. And I was like 220 pounds when I joined the Marines at 5'10". I was a weight waiver.
Were you really?
And then, yeah. And then when I got out of boot camp, I was 160. So I dropped all that weight in boot camp, just from boot camp. Well, you know how boot camp is. Yeah. It's fucking intense, you know?
Yeah, it's just
I was MCRD, you know? So I dropped a lot of weight. I was a weight waiver. So that was like, dude, I carry that with me. I'm like, hey, drop weight. I'll drop weight. If I set my mind to it, I'll do it, you know? And then, so I just wanted to get out and, go do new things and take my confidence in myself and apply it. That's what that's what I really wanted. So, when I got out, that's what I focused on and started a couple companies. One of them fucked up. The other one did good. Took over my dad's company. That did good. Became a Twitch streamer. Then I became a YouTuber. So that's basically, you know, I just kept like doing new things.
And you just keep going myself. Yeah, and you just keep going on to the next thing. You got this plateau, hit the next plateau, hit the next plateau. Keep going higher and higher. And I'm
not stopping. So YouTube, I'm gonna beat it. I'm gonna beat my YouTube like success. You know, everything I've done on YouTube, I'm gonna beat it. But I'm not done with YouTube yet. I think I may hang around a little bit longer than I usually do on a project. It's usually about like what's up?
No, I was gonna say, where do you see yourself going? Like, what's your goals, your aspirations going past being like a social media star?
Social media star. I want to use my influence to launch a dope fucking product that everyone loves, or products, and then use my influence to kind of push those products that are going to work because everyone hears about it. They'll be like, that's fucking awesome. Why wouldn't I not have that? So whatever that may be, I want to develop something that people love, use my influence to promote that, and then move on to that level. That's where I see myself going next. Starting a company through my influence.
Any kind of names you'd pass around for the company, or is that something you want to keep kind of close to the chest so nobody steals
a name?
Yeah.
I don't care. Name doesn't matter. Yeah, it's the product that matters. Right. Yeah, name it whatever. We call it fucking... There's this guy, his channel is called Poop Poop Fart on YouTube, and he makes music. He does video game, like he recomposes the video game music using all instruments in his like room. right? And his channel's called Poop Poop Fart, and he's got millions of views on his videos.
I mean,
name doesn't matter. Yeah.
No, it's entertainment, man. It really is. It comes down to if you're going to entertain somebody or if your product sells. And if it's catchy, hey,
name matters, but it doesn't matter, right? You can have a bad name and a dope product, and people will buy it because it's they want it.
Well, plus it's personality.
Yeah.
That people want to be you, or they're interested in you, and they want to be. Oh, what's he's endorsing this? Oh, I want that too.
It's going to be so dope that it would survive without me. Like if you put it somewhere else, it's just dope, right? I'm just a vessel. I want to be a vessel, but like develop something that is actually like cool that people will actually want, and not some novelty shit. Like something that is valuable to people and like a cherished thing. That's what it would be. Something that's either useful or it could be anything, but it just has to be important to people.
Right.
And not just because they like me, but because the thing is cool. That's what it would be. And then it could succeed. You put someone that people trust and appreciate and want to support connected to something that they want. Now we're talking. That's my goal is to figure that out. I want to go that direction, figure out what that's going to be. I don't know what it is, but if it's not as magical as I've been explaining, then we're not going with it. So it's going to have to be that perfect types of products and build a company around that. It could just be apparel, it could be anything. It could literally be anything, but I don't want it. Like everyone does apparel, and I just want to go. Like I think there's some other really good options out there yet to discover. So that's where I became. After the Marines, I became an entrepreneur. And even as a YouTuber, I'm still an entrepreneur at heart. I like to build things and use what I've got to grow even bigger. You use what you've done and then layer things on top of it and just keep going. I love that. So I want to build something. I don't know, but in the meantime, I'm just getting bigger and bigger on YouTube. So.
Yes, you are. Yeah, you are. And like I said, it's hilarious. If you haven't checked them out, check them out on Instagram. Check them on YouTube. Do you still do the Twitch, or do you not really do that much anymore? Do you still kind of do a little bit toward it?
Nah. Twitch is a time vampire, bro. Like I don't recommend anybody do Twitch or live streaming as their main form of content starting out. I recommend people make videos that go viral. That's mostly going to be the short videos, but also long forms. Like there's plenty of platforms that you make money from those. But yeah, making videos that get a lot of views. That's where you can take content creation and make it a full-time thing. Have the most likely chances of that happening. So what you should do if you want to be a streamer is build yourself up as a video person first, and then you could stream. And it doesn't even matter. Like you're so successful doing the other thing, you're just streaming for fun. You don't even have to care about streaming. Is literally hustling for tips. Like if that's your main thing that you do, you're trying to get subs. And it's like, thank you for the sub, thank you for the prime, thank you for the donos, thank you for the bits, blah 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 blah. Thank you for all the things. You're just sitting there hustling tips like a waitress, hustling tips at their restaurant or something. It's the same job, and that's, as a content creator, that's something that you're trying to get away from, not get into. So That's the way Twitch is. So that's why I don't do it anymore. As a long answer for that, I wanted to throw in that advice out there for anyone thinking about content. If you do streaming, you're hustling tips. And whereas YouTube, you just upload the video and people watch it whenever they want. You don't even have to be there. You don't have to talk to them if you don't want. I love to talk to them. I do it anyways. But yeah. So throwing that out there. And hey, any other questions for me before we wrap it up, bro? I mean, you got anything for me? Anything you want to ask? Anything you want to know?
You know what? I do want to ask you one more thing. So as you know, Papastanimus has started his journey into becoming a boxing sports enthusiast because you eventually want to go to the YouTube content creators boxing match, correct?
Yeah, I want to box YouTubers.
Who the top three, if you could, who would be the three you challenge and why? I'm
not going to name them.
Okay.
Here, because I don't want to platform them. It's actually like if I was going to if I could box people, there's two guys in particular that are ripping off my channel.
I have seen one of them. I saw one today, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Same thing.
There's two guys ripping off my channel, and I would love to just fucking there's no way they would beat me.
Right.
There's no way. There's no way. I will out train them. I'll take it so much more seriously. So it would be them, but like other than that, you know, like drama shit, I don't really have anybody. Just anybody that is gonna take their training serious and they have a big following that they earned, and we could work together, put on a show for people. Anybody that wants to do that, dude, like I don't even have to know them beforehand. Like, you know, I'll get to know them and we'll become friends, you know. But honestly, anybody that's, you know, anybody that is that's a bigger creator that built their audience and they earned it, and we're bringing our audiences together to put on a show for people and have some fun. Whoever, dude. Like I don't have anyone in particular. If I could pick something, it would be Creator Clash. It'd be Creator Clash organized by iDubbbz and Anissa, two great internet personalities, especially iDubbbz. You know, he's the legend of iDubbbz TV. Content Cop, love it. You know, Bad Unboxing, love it. Kickstarter crap, love it. You know, watched that every single one of them, and then he turns around and starts doing fucking documentaries that are awesome. And then he puts together it takes a year to put together a Creator Clash, gets the massive creators in the ring, and it's no cringe, no fake beef or anything like that. Nobody's it's not prize fighting. Everyone's fighting for charity. All the money goes to charity.
Right.
And it's a love fest. Like there was this one match I saw, and these guys hugged each other literally like 15 fucking times. It's like, dude, stop hugging each other. Get out of the way. Let's get the next guys in.
Right.
You know, it's so respectful of the sport. Everyone actually took their training seriously, and there is all technical boxing. There was people just throwing random shit. You know, people. The one thing, not everyone was necessarily conditioned, but I'm finding out for myself how hard that is. But yeah, so like I want to do the Creator Clash because that is the most well-organized, respect of the sport YouTuber boxing that anyone has ever done. I don't think anyone's going to top that. Like they're doing a Creator Clash too. There's no way anyone's going to come in and top Creator Clash. Like, so I think iDubbbz can stay on top of it. I will go to these other ones that are a little bit more cringe and fight in those if I can't get in Creator Clash, because I am training 4 days a week currently.
Hell yeah, Stan.
Yeah, 4 days a week. It's intense training. It's an hour straight of intense training each day. Like we start 15 minutes of footwork, and the first day I did that, I thought I was gonna fucking die, but I finished it, and they were like, "Holy shit, you finished it!" Like people that are fat don't usually finish it, and I finished it.
Hell yeah.
And because I was just thinking, like, dude, I was in the Marines. I'm gonna fucking finish this shit, dude. There's no way this is harder than anything I've ever done.
See, it all comes back. It all comes back, man.
Yeah. So I did that, and now I'm getting my, you know, I went in there knowing, okay, like I spent a few months punching my own bag back here, just getting myself used to punching and back into stuff like that. And then I'm like, all right, there's a point where I don't have all of the, I can only practice so much without someone telling me what to do. Right. So I joined a gym. And there's like actual coaches there. They're great. There's actual boxers there. It's 5 generations of boxers running this place, family owned. And I went in there. I'm like, I want to learn footwork, and I want to get all these. I want to have disciplines and be a technical fighter. You know, I don't want to just sit there doing whatever. I want to learn how to do this. So I'm learning. Every day is 15 minutes of footwork, and that's a workout. Like what they have for the footwork is a workout, and that's crazy. And then on Thursdays is sparring, so we go in there and you practice all this stuff they teach you. Keep your hands up, you know. And like I'm like, oh dude, like the jab is not just a thing to do damage, it's a fuck off punch. Like get the fuck off of me, you know. So
it's a weapon. It's a weapon, man.
Yeah, start throwing those jabs, bro, and they fuck off. And so it's great, dude. I'm sparring, I'm training hard, I'm losing weight, I'm getting in shape again. Looking forward to seeing where my body's gonna be, and it feels good to do exercise and stuff on my own without someone telling me to do it. Like when I was in the Marines, you know, that was the best shape I was ever in. I want to beat that with my own motivation and decisions. So it's just another thing to conquer for me. Going on a journey. So that's where I'm at now. You know, I'm not trying to be a pro boxer. I just want to be a YouTube boxer. I want to beat up YouTubers. You know, people. Hey, I don't want to. I prefer to beat up people I like and not people I don't like.
And that's a Marine Corps thing too. It's like your best friends you're gonna beat the hell out of, and the next day you go drink a beer and celebrate and all that stuff. But hey, you hear to hear, folks, man. Stanimus is gonna go ahead and declare open season on YouTube creators. And I'll tell you what, I got sucked in on watching the Creator Class because I heard about it and I was like, from you, and I went and watched. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty pretty fun to watch, man. We have Wolfgamer 1990 says, I would love to see him box Boogie 2988 or Airsoft Fatty and the kid behind the camera. That's who he say you should go fight.
No, dude, they're way heavier than me. They're just they're gonna KO me, man. I'm gonna get butter beaned.
I think people don't understand there's weight classes in here. That's what makes it better of a sport. You know?
Yeah. Creator Clash is it's supposed to be weight class based.
Yeah.
There was a couple fights that weren't fair.
Oh no, dude, there was one
Harley from Epic Mealtime, dude. Like, what the fuck was that? You know?
Yeah.
That kind of, I was like, okay, but everyone wanted to do it, but if I was Harley, I would feel uncomfortable. It's like, dude, I'm just gonna beat up this smaller guy.
Right.
Like I sparred with a guy smaller than me on Thursday, and at first I was like, dude, like, why are you putting me against this small guy? But then you started fucking hitting me in the face and shit. I got a bloody nose.
Right.
And I'm like, and then they're telling him, punch him, telling the other guy to beat me up. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start. So I started bopping him. I got really tired, but I felt bad because even though he's a better fighter and he's been training longer and he's doing all this crazy stuff that I wasn't doing, I'm just bigger and I just go bop. I've easily got probably like 80 pounds on that guy. Like this little guy. It was kind of whatever, but yeah. So if I was Harley in that match, I would be kind of frustrated with it because I'm like, give me someone my own size, man. You know?
Yeah.
Because he just fucking ran everything. But other than that, weight classes for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And hey, man, like, I love what you're doing that because obviously it's inspirational, it's motivational, and the whole point of Valor and Venom, we've talked about this before, is that I just started a Discord right now that's all about fitness, about the strength sports we got going on here. So we have a section in there just for motivation. Don't have to do it, but if you feel free that you want to go ahead and grace us with your presence and put your story in there and put your stuff in there, just here's some pictures, here's me dog shit tired, like, this is what this is, but the journey is what it's all about. Here's a start and here's a finish. And we, for one, are going to promote the shit out of you, especially when you're doing this, because Creator Clash is fun. And if you're going to do it and you're in the mindset to do it, it's well worth it, man. It's all
I
about
need some backup with it.
Hey, man.
I need people to back me up on, like, hey, guys, let me in. We need to get the crowds, like, roaring at them, and maybe they'll pick me. There's a lot of people that want to do it, though, so my chances are slim, but I'm going for it anyways. Shoot my shot.
If you want the American Outlaw in your corner, you got it. You tell me when to be there and what time, we'll be there. Trust me.
Dude, if there's a Marine that gets in the Creator Clash, like, even if people don't know me and they're hurting me, they'll be like, dude, that's a Marine going in it. They'll just, like, all the military, all the vets.
Oh yeah.
They'll have my back.
You really have support if it's like that. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah. They'll just go for it, man.
Yep.
All right,
Stan. I appreciate your time, man. We plan on doing this for 30 minutes, and God, I think we've been over. Oh, Jesus, we're over an hour, about an hour and 15 minutes going on.
That's about a podcast length. That's a proper podcast. Like I said, if I was having fun, I'll just go. I'll keep going.
Well, I'm gonna take this. You had fun because I had a blast doing it, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
All right.
So, hey everybody, like I said, look at Papastanimus on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. Go and subscribe to this thing. He's a hell of a funny guy. His show is amazing, and basically, just support each other because if you're looking for just basically gut busting humor, this is the guy right here, I'm telling you right now. So, Stan, from one veteran to another, thank you for the ability for you to come on here and grace me with telling your story. It means a lot to me as a veteran because that's actually part of what this is reaching out to veterans to get them to tell their story. And for you taking a chance on me for my first podcast of doing this, and this is right out the gate. So, again, my friend, I appreciate everything. Thank you.
Yeah, man. It was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me. Sub to Papastanimus. God damn it.
Yes, sir. Oh, my friend, you have a...